Hey, Doc, how does it feel to be here? What do you think of the tournament?
I like the tournament. I think it's early like litmus test for the team. And I look at last year and I thought Indiana, do they make the Eastern Finals if they don't have this tournament? It gives you kind of a free practice run on playoff situations. It's not the exact same. For us, we got off to a rocky start, and now we're here. And so I think this tournament can do a lot of different things for a lot of different teams, and so I like it.
What do you say to the people who might note that the bigger name teams in the league are not here, and you're getting
That's not
another
our
look at?
problem. That's Everyone had the chance to get here, and you can't tell me everyone wasn't trying to get here. The teams that are here earned it, and they should be here.
Barry, can you give it to Joe right behind you?
Hey, Doc, good to see you. You mentioned Indiana, and then if you look at this year's tournament, on the West side, we have the top two teams in the West. You guys and the Hawks both got off to bad starts. You're
Yeah.
now red hot.
Yeah.
Do you think that the ability to get this far in this tournament does foreshadow
Yeah, I
success come
think.
the spring?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. You know, I'm smart, but I don't know the future. But I'm hoping. I guess, and I think it says something. It doesn't say nothing. That's what I would say to all that. So, it's what how many games in the year, and you know, I've learned from being in this job for a long time. You don't overreact to a fast start. You don't overreact to a bad start. Everyone else does, but the teams who are in it shouldn't. The coaches certainly don't. And then the key is being ready at the end of the year. That's the key. But this does help everybody who's in it.
Tim, right here on the right.
Doc, where have you seen the maturation in Trey's game? Because he's this fascinating guy. Obviously, he puts up great numbers, and he's got supporters because of it, and he's got detractors because of.
Yeah.
He does play with a certain swagger, which is great. But where have you seen his game?
Yeah, the
grow?
swagger, I don't think anyone cared about. Like, at least, from a coaching perspective, if you don't have some kind of confidence or swag, you can't be a very good player. You definitely can't be a great player. So I just think his ability to keep everyone involved, he's always done it. I mean, he finally broke Doc Rivers' assist record. I mean, it only lasted for 39 years. So when he came up to me and bragged about it, I said, it took you long enough. Um, Having said that, what I think he's doing a better job of is on both ends of the floor. Defensively, he has figured out the way of keeping himself out of actions. And I know that sounds easy. That's hard to do. And he's brilliant at it. He really is. Watching the tape, we were trying to put him in actions, and somehow he kept getting out of the actions by switching and communicating. To me, what he's done is he must be really studying the game on both ends of the floor, and you can see that in his play. And he's earned the trust of his players. His team likes playing with him. I mean, it's obvious. And I couldn't say that in the past, but now they love playing with him.
This is personal tomorrow. That since he broke your record.
Well, it was, but now that he broke it, it was personal last year when I was trying to get the Hawks to trade him so I can keep the record. But now it's no longer personal.
On your left, Steve.
Doc, Giannis just turned 30.
Did he?
And I'm wondering, how do you think 30 in 2024 relates to 30 maybe when you hit that number? And what do you make of Giannis, where he's at in his career,
Yeah.
what we can look forward to?
I don't know if the prime years have changed. Honestly, I think because prime is basketball IQ and physicality having a collision at the same time. That's what prime means, for the most part. And so I don't know if your prime comes earlier than it did 20 years or 30 years ago. Maybe it does because guys come into the league earlier, and so maybe that is true. I don't know that, but physically he's in a great place. I think IQ and mentally he's probably in the best place of his career, and I think it says that by his numbers, by his passing, by his ability to read defenses. Even in the short time I've been here, it's light years seeing how well he handles different situations defensively, when teams are trying to do different things to him. And his numbers say that. Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's all like luck too, and health, and will if you want to do it. Guys are in way better condition. We have 1,000 physical therapists on every team now. So, you think about it. We had Joel Toole. He was our trainer, our PT, our equipment manager, our travel secretary. That's who we had for my whole 8 years. No one worked on your body. Now all these guys, they're in so much better shape. They have so much more information about their bodies. There's so many avenues they can go to work on their bodies. But I still think it comes down to the will. Do you still want to play?
Over here on your right, third
Yeah.
row.
Coach, just to follow on Giannis, do you sense he has like a drive to really want to win this, having come so closely last year, and also maybe complete the set of the championship MVP and then this as well?
Yeah, I just think Giannis has a drive. I think Giannis wants to win in everything he does, and I think that helps your team. Checkers, it doesn't matter. He just wants to win. He's deadly serious about his profession. He's been a joy to coach in that way. If it's something about basketball and something about anything we want to change or anything, he is on board. From a coaching standpoint, nothing easier than that.
Tomer in the middle.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you. I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you guys have the superstars. You guys are a national
And
team.
we're the old team.
You guys have the old team.
Yeah.
But what is playing on a stage like this? How is it different? What does it do for your team as far as?
Yeah, I don't know. That great question. I don't know the answer. Some of our guys have been on big stages. We have 5 guys that have been to the finals and won it. Some have never been on a big stage, and so every year your team's on a different journey. And I just think mixing those two groups together and seeing how we react is a good thing. It's a great teacher. You'll learn. I'll learn something through this. I just don't know what it is. But every team will get something out of this that will help them moving forward.
Tim here on the right.
Steve's question triggered this question in my head as well. Giannis turning 30, LeBron's 2.5 weeks from turning 40,
Yeah.
and he's only averaging 23, 8,
Uh-huh.
9 this year. We've seen it for 22 years, but can you make any sense of 40 years old?
No,
averaging
what
23,
what
8, 9?
LeBron is doing, is maybe. Who knows? Because of health again, it could happen again. I just don't see it. I think he's like I always tell Giannis when we started watching film together, and I tell him all the time, like with Giannis, you're a one of one. There's nobody like Giannis. We've never seen anybody like Giannis, and we've never seen anybody like LeBron. And LeBron is deadly serious about it, taking care of his body. Most people wouldn't do what LeBron does off the floor, and that's why they don't last. LeBron has decided to do it all, and that's why he lasts. But it's amazing to watch.
Joe, last question.
Yeah, hey, Doc. Just not being around you guys that much so far this year, with the expectation you have and the roster you have, I'm wondering what the impact of the start that the Cavs and the Celtics had on you and sort of where you think you are now compared to them.
0, honestly. We'd have loved to start it out 20-0 like everybody else, but I don't think the title is going to be given this week. I'm positive of that. So, honestly, we just worry about us. We let everybody else worry about all the other stuff. We got off a tough start, played poorly, couldn't make shots, couldn't defend. Rough schedule, injuries. We had a lot of stuff. So will every team at some point go through all that. And that's why, again, I said earlier, you don't overreact to a great start. You don't overreact to a bad start. If you believe in your team, if you think your team has a chance to be a really good team by the end of it, you just try to build through the year. And when it's time, the first thing you pray health. And then the second part is you want them to be playing on all cylinders, working together, understanding how this team needs to play to win. And that's a journey, and we're on that journey now.